Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mike Colleen at crackedfemalcode.com. Alright, so I'm doing another restart. I've got other YouTube channels, but this one I really want to dedicate, and I want this one to be the one that explodes and takes off, okay? So I'm going to start spending more time on this, okay? So I'm going to start out a little bit. I'll probably do a separate video, like an About Me video. So I'm going to give you a little bit about me now, and then I'm going to teach you something about the female mating system. Alright, so first of all, I've been in the personal development business for over 30 years now. I've been specializing in coaching men on how to save their marriage and meet the girl of their dreams. Now, I made some new discoveries. Some of the things I learned from science, psychology, and I put the pieces together. Here's the funny thing. You learn it in the psychology class, but no one ever saw it. One of the reasons why I saw it is because of some things that I learned from a Buddhist monk that I had been studying with for years, okay? And that is what opened the door. Now, a lot of clients will come to me and they'll be like, well, this isn't a pickup artist course. No, in fact, I'm going to tell you something right now. It's the complete opposite. It is much, much, much more powerful and much more effective. This is what turns women on. There is a hidden secret that Mother Nature purposely hid from the male brain. At the clubs, at the parties, I'm known as the Love Doctor, okay? Now, how I got this name was whenever I would coach a woman to explain the difference between why men aren't doing it in a way that triggers her mating system, melts her heart, turns her on. After I would teach this to a woman for about an hour to hour and a half, 2 hours, it was almost a unanimous thing. It was kind of weird because they all would say it even though they never knew each other. They would just look at me and say, you're the love doctor. You're the real life love doctor. So that's where I got this from. The number one thing I want you to know is this is a very, very classy form of romantic seduction. Now, the word romance in the female language means the same thing as seduction. The problem is the male brain's definition of seduction is not the female's definition of seduction, and that is one of the places where you are completely missing out. This is what men do unconsciously that ruins it. The majority of my clients are very, very wealthy, intelligent, and educated men, and generally men with a lot of power. One of my clients was a fairly famous in his industry. He was actually known worldwide. He was worth over $300 million. Another client that he referred was worth $100 million. I've worked with professional boxers who were world champions. I can't give away their names. This guy at one point in time, now this was a while back, but it was during my childhood, he was a 5-time undisputed world champion. He came to me because he was losing his third $5 million home in another divorce, and he wanted to know what was going on, because all of you guys think it's about money and $1 million homes and car. I'm telling you, it's not. It's nice, but she'll take it from you once she gets bored with you, because there's something that a woman absolutely needs and she can't get it from a man, because we're wired neurologically so differently. You don't even know what this is until I teach it to you. In fact, when I first explain it to you, you still won't understand it. This course is a mind conditioning course. The guy that was worth $300 million, oh, by the way, he flew in on his own plane. Yes, I'm serious. He was going through his second divorce, losing millions. And the other guy with $100 million, he was literally in the middle of a divorce, and he was going to lose millions as well. So if you guys think it's about being tall, rich, handsome, powerful. By the way, that guy that's worth $300 million, I actually ran into someone on the plane flying out there because he flew me out to the Midwest. He knew this guy and said, oh, that guy has a lot of respect. That is a very well-known, very well-respected man. Okay, a little bit about my background in sports. Do you guys know who this guy is? Yes, that's the UFC, and that is Jacob Stitz Duran, the #1 cut man in the world. He's been in the corner for the Klitschko brothers, and I can name off literally but the top professional fighters, UFC fighters, and boxers in the world. He's been in 4 movies now. He was my cut man and trainer for 7 years. I was a national champion in kickboxing, silver gloves champion in boxing, etc., etc. Okay, a little bit of brief history about me. And by the way, the person that actually got me into kickboxing was Chuck Norris. Another interesting fact about me is Jacob, actually, I was about to be a Power Ranger. Okay, remember that show, Power Rangers? What happened was my appendix had burst when he was talking to producers about the movie. And after I got out of the hospital, I was in there for 21 days. It was a really bad surgery. He had told me, he goes, hey, Mikey, actually, they wanted you to be a Power Ranger, but it passed me and they picked someone else. So that's a little bit of my history. Okay, something about the course that I want to say. So number one, I do work with people one-on-one who have nighttime shifts, okay? So if you want to work at nighttime, we just have to sync up when I can meet you at night, and we can do very, very late night sessions, okay? That's not a problem. So I want to put that out there because my sleeping pattern shifts. So if you need to do it at night, you're going to have to catch me when I'm up at night, okay? Now, open for group training, so if you have a group of guys, I'll do group trainings as well. Now, here's the only other thing I want to say before I get into today's lesson. Bring a good attitude. Put your best foot forward, loosen up, relax, enjoy yourself. The course is meant to be enjoyed. In fact, this is the funnest thing I've ever done in my life, and I've dedicated a lot of time into it. And to be honest with you, I only want to work with clients who are fun to work with. That's what I do. This is meant to improve your life and make your life a lot happier and a whole lot funner. Now, the course itself, there are some techniques that I will teach you that we will work through together, okay? And what they do is they will completely and totally relax you. In another video, I'll explain why this is so important to help a woman feel comfortable with you, okay? So if you have anxiety around women, you tend to panic and stress, that will all go away. I'm very, very good at, I'm not very good, I'm probably one of the best people in the world at what I do when it comes to helping you completely calm down, okay? One of the things I specialize in is helping people with anxiety and emotional issues. Alright, so I'm an NLP trainer, master hypnotherapist, a master practitioner of timeline therapy, certified in HNLP, which is another form of psychology, and there's a lot more. I want to leave that real brief at that. I've spoke at Hewlett-Packard 4 times. I've done a lot of real estate trainings. Now, here's one thing you're going to learn about this. What I teach you in this course transfers over into marketing and into sales, okay, and into other areas of your life for social influence. Now, you might be thinking, oh, he's doing the Tony Robbins thing. No, this is radically different. This model that you see up here, this is something that I designed and I developed by recognizing something that nobody has ever seen before. 100%, this is going to be an eye-opening course, and it is going to change your life and your perspective on the opposite sex. I guarantee it. And you are going to be shocked at how powerful it works. It is effective. It's not kind of, it's not sort of. It is absolutely the most effective course and techniques on the planet, hands down. Okay, so today's lesson is going to be very simple. It's very basic. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to point something out, and then I'm going to throw it back into your hands, okay? Because this is when I say mistakes that men make, what it really is, we are neurologically wired in the opposite direction that women are. So when we do what we think is normal for love, for communication, for romance, for seduction, it will really, really piss a woman off. Because it's going in, literally, neurologically and physically, it's going in the opposite direction that the way that she is hardwired and built. And this is nothing that you've done wrong. There's nothing wrong with you. And that's the thing you can learn about the course is like, hey, there's nothing wrong with you. We're just wired differently. I honestly believe Mother Nature, and if you believe in God, something did this on purpose so we would begin to learn about this and develop this. But for some reason, none of this stuff you're going to learn in my course has ever been put out there. And yet, it's really obvious. Well, when you start to see it. And the funny thing is, a lot of the stuff I learned in psychology classes when I was going to college, but nobody put the pieces together. In fact, at the time, it really shocked me, and I thought, well, how come no one's ever explored this? Like, it's kind of like, okay, this is the way this is and that, but nobody ever stopped and goes, wait a minute. And I'm going to explain that one piece right now that goes to what I just said. All right, here we go. So we're going to talk about our mating systems and what has to happen in order for a woman to want to have sex with you. And I mean really want to have sex with you, to where she's at the point where she's coming after you and she's pulling your clothes off and she's, hey, take my number, and she's trying to get you into bed. Okay, I'm going to put it this way. If you're working hard to get her to make love to you, you are absolutely 100% doing it wrong. If you are taking her out to expensive dinners, buying her gifts, spending money, you are literally doing it in the opposite direction. And believe it or not, but you're pissing her off. All right, here we go. So this is very simple. I'm going to talk about the neurological wiring in our brains. Okay, this is real simple. Don't get scared by that word neurological. Everything that I teach is broken down into everyday common sense language. Okay, just simple language. Here's the basics. For both men, okay. So first of all, we have a left brain, that's the male logical brain. Then we have a right brain, that's the female internal brain. Later on, I'm going to explain internal, because the left male brain is external. And when you do that, which you do, because that's the way you're wired, it will turn her off. You are physically disconnecting her from her mating system when you use that part of your brain, which we do. It's all about logic for men. But there's an answer, and I'll explain literally neurologically what you're doing. You're literally neurologically, like you're disconnecting your wire from her mating system, and you're bringing her over to her logical brain, and boom, she literally just got disconnected from her mating system, and thus she's turned off. All right, so we have a left brain, right brain. We have two frontal lobes, but the main thing we're going to focus on is the left and right brain, and then the lower reptilian brain. So that's the three brains are left brain, right brain, and then the lower reptilian brain, which is on the top of the brainstem, okay? So here's the deal. For both men and women, our mating systems are inside that lower third brain. Now, this is our instinctual brain, the fight or flight brain. It is literally the reptilian brain. This is the same processor that lizards, alligators, frogs, etc. use. That's why they call it the reptilian brain, okay? It's very instinctual. There's no thinking going. It's just, it's the reaction brain. Its number one job is to keep you alive. So if you're about to step off a curb and a bus is going by at 30 miles an hour right next to the curb, it pulls you back. Now, have you ever had when you walk along, boom, something almost like jerks you back? That was your unconscious mind. That was that lower reptilian brain. Its second job is to reproduce and have babies and keep the species going. That's why our mating system is in that part of our brain. Now, here's the challenge. Okay, so for men, our mating system is directly connected to our eyes through the optic nerve. So there's a nerve that connects to our mating system and splits off and connects to our left and right eyes, okay? So we get sexually turned on or stimulated, our mating system gets stimulated when we see a woman's hot body. In other words, we are turned on visually. Write that down, visually, okay? This is really important because the problem is you think that she's turned on visually, but she's not. So, the reason why men like pornos, Playboy magazines, images, pictures, movies, videos, those are all visual forms of sex. Now here's the deal. This really, really, really upsets women. When you look at her body, her tits, her ass, it really offends her, okay? Because she's not wired that way. Now you're going to find something out like, wait a minute, so she's just wired differently. Like, yeah, that's all it is. And once you understand these different wirings that I break down in the course, you're going to be like, so that's what yeah, that's all you have to do. Now here's the deal. It's really hard for your brain to wrap itself around this, okay? But once you see it, then you're going to have to start practicing these techniques, and all of a sudden, a whole new world opens up. Now, I'm going to tell you something right off the bat. I do not teach pickup lines. I do not teach pickup artist techniques. That is not what this course is about. So the good news is you don't have to memorize a bunch of lines and tricks and all that stuff, okay? Getting to the point where your brain understands it and wraps itself around it, that's a little bit of a process. I'm going to be honest with you up front right now. It's going to take some work and effort on your part, and it's going to take some practice, okay, and some development. If you're willing to do that, I promise you, this course will change your life, not only sexually in relationships, but also socially and financially and in business. All of this applies to every area of life. All right, here we go. The female's mating system is in the exact same place as yours on the lower reptilian brain, but it has a nerve that curves off to the right brain's communication center. Now I want to point something out that you may have missed, even though I clearly said it, okay? I know I've been doing this a long time. Listen closely. I said the right brains, not left brain. Because women will walk up to men and say, oh, or like on dating sites or whatever, oh, I'm looking for a man who knows how to communicate well, who knows how to express himself, blah, 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 blah. She is not, N-O-T, she is not talking about logical communication. Because, like most guys, out of high school and college are like, well, I communicate very well because we got good grades in English class. English class and proper English is not what she means. That is left brain, proper English. Guess what that does? It turns her off. She's talking about the hidden language, the internal hidden language. The left brain language is the external language, which takes her out of her mating system, away, and it disconnects her sexually, and that's not a good thing. Okay? See, if you learn how to do this, you're going to be surprised. Like, dude, women are going to want to have sex with you all the time. They're going to want to cook for you. They're going to want to hug you. They're going to want to love you. They will pay for dinners willingly. In fact, they literally, if you do this right, she's like, no, it's on me. Because women are so desperate for this. This is literally like a drug. The problem is, men don't get it. In fact, I wrote a book called Why Men Just Don't Get It. And let me tell you something. 100% across the board, every single woman that talks to me, and when I tell them about that book, they're like, oh, I got to buy that book. That book is an easy sell. That is the most easiest thing to sell. I remember, the first time a woman goes, so what do you do for a living? Well, I just finished writing that book. And I said, well, I teach a course to women. And she goes, what's it called? I go, it's called Why Men Just Don't Get It. Now, she was at work. She was behind the cashier. And she looked at me and she looked down and she's grinning. I go, it's okay, you can laugh. And she burst out laughing. She goes, oh, it's so true. Men don't get it, but they think they do, but they don't, no matter what you say to them. Now, here's why. Because women are speaking a foreign language, which, by the way, is my next video I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to go over it right now. We are literally speaking two radically, completely different languages. The left brain processor is, I'm not going to explain it right now. All right, so when she says communication, she does not mean left brain. All right, so I broke it down, okay? All that stuff I'll explain more in depth in the course, okay? And learning her language is not an easy thing to do. It takes time to put the pieces together, okay? So now, let me just ask you a basic question. If the male mating system is connected to his eyes through the optic nerve, and the female mating system, it has a nerve that curves off to her right brain's, what? Communication center. How do you think a woman is sexually turned on? Visually or auditorily through communication? Please leave me your answer. If you said auditorily, you are correct. Now here's what I'm going to do. If you're in front of me, you would see my hands doing this. For men, I'm pointing to my eyes. This is how a man is turned on, visually. So when we see a woman swivel her hips and we see some skin, we see that smooth, soft, sensual belly, we see her breasts, her nipples, we see those cute lips with red lipstick on. And here's the okay, watch this. Women purposely wear dangling earrings because they're trying to get your attention. It's exactly like when you go fishing and you use a flashy lure. I am not kidding, and when women hear me say that, they burst out laughing like, oh, it's so true. You literally have to swivel your hips and flip your hair, and all of that is exactly like using a lure to get your attention. And guess what men do? Because we're visual, we assume and project that onto her. But it literally pisses God. I'm going to tell you guys, when I'm at clubs, women are like, God, why do men do that? You guys buy chrome rims. You get the tires clean. You put the spray on the tires. You wash and wax your car. You get your hair cut. You buy a new dress shirt. You button it up. You look good. That's all that's going to do is attract a man. You're literally using the male form of seduction that seduces men. Don't do it. So if you want to get started, the best place to start is buy my book, Crack the Female Code. Now, if you're planning on taking the course, I made a package. It's valued at $225. Right now, it is on sale for $75. It's called the Ultimate Package. It is going to go up in price very, very soon. So the reason why I recommend you buy that is because it has enough of the pieces to get you on track. So when you walk in the door, you walk in the door running, okay? So the other reason is, otherwise the course will shock your brain. It really will. It is completely opposite. Everything that I'm going to teach you is the complete opposite of anything you have ever heard. In fact, this guy right here, Adam, he is now dating like crazy. Before, he was in a rut for years. He's a fairly wealthy man. His uncle literally, and I'm not joking, is almost a billionaire. He's worth $900 million, and I'm not kidding. Adam owns a business downtown London Square, okay? Guy's very well off, and he couldn't get a date. He is in perfect shape. He wears nice dresses. I mean, well, you can see him right there. So here's the interesting thing about women. Women are very highly conscious and aware that men are visual. They don't know why. They don't like it. And I've asked women over the years. This is one of the things I would do, is I would just ask hundreds of women the same question, okay, to see what the answers were. And the typical response is like, well, we have to do it because when we try to attract them in our way, it doesn't work. But when we flip our hair, wear high heels, and wear dangling earrings and red lipstick and makeup and all this visual stuff, it seems to attract men very well. But we don't really like doing it. And the worst part is, look, women are very aware that men don't get it. That's not even a question. The question is, can we get you to open your brain enough to figure this out and to see it? And I promise you, when you see it, it's going to shock you. So here's the question I'm going to leave with you, which I already asked, is how, by the way, you can go to your local college, you can go to your local psychology professor. I don't know if they'll have this memorized in their brain, but you can absolutely 100% look this up. Her mating system has a nerve that curves off to the right brain's communication center, period, end of sentence. That alone right there should let you know that's the way a woman is turned on sexually. And yes, this is me right here with two girls. So the most important book is my book, Crack the Female Code. Read that book first, okay? Now there's a couple other books. If you're going to go on to get at least one or more of the other books, I really highly recommend you buy the package right now because it'll save you a lot of money. And the prices are going to go up really, really soon. Okay, so I do private elite one-on-one coaching, and we're going to start doing group training soon. Okay, it's coming up in the spring or summer of this year, 2024. Alright guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Remember, click subscribe, click the like button, make a comment, say hello, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.